Okay, how is our energy level today? Good? Woo! Okay, if you feel like you're just gonna sleep, that's okay. It's gonna be like bang, 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 and then we leave the room, okay? Now, good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming into my talk for the next 20 minutes. I'm so grateful for you to be here. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge our sponsor. Without them, wouldn't be possible for us to be here today. Now, whether you are a leader by position or a leader by title, by position or by title or by spirit, this one is for you. The purpose of my talk today is to share my experience and observation from junior perspective. Junior who has not just survived but thrived in technology industry because of all the great giants that have lifted me up and stand on their shoulders. And I will distill their behaviors, like great behaviors of my giants, based on true story and outline immediate actions for you so that you know that, hey, helping early in career is actually an act. You know, it's not a now. You don't have to become a mentor, sponsor, and advocate. You just simply act. And I hope that collectively we can keep producing the next great generation of leaders in our industry. Hi there, I'm Gia. I'm an early career myself. As you said, I work at Microsoft as an associate cloud solution architect. Outside of all the things that Emma didn't say, I am also building a community of early in career for Microsoft Australia and New Zealand as well. If you see this, you gotta appreciate my drawing, come on. This is the gingerbread man, but actually it's the early in career, okay? And outside of the job that I get paid to do, I also do a lot of community work. I teach and upskill digital skill for other people, specifically disadvantaged students or like the minority group of people. Now, how did I get here in the first place? I'm going to take you, and we're gonna turn back time together before I joined the technical workforce. All right, the journey has not yet begun. There I stood with a piece of paper and a koala in my hand, smiling at a photographer, walked out from graduation with some basic skill in ordinary but limited reality, right? And I was just hoping for the best for my future. After mucking around for a little bit, I then discovered this unfamiliar place called the corporate jungle. As I entered the corporate jungle, can somebody take this? Because they were supposed to do like speaker pose. As I entered the corporate jungle, that sticky man, white stick man is me, by the way. As I entered corporate jungle, I first encountered this murky water. I was asked to be untruthful to my values so I could go through shortcuts. And then I faced this acid rain of self-doubt and not so good enough syndrome, right? It burned my skin and soul. And when I thought that I was gonna get better on the high, guess what? The world's biggest pandemic arrived. We all sent down to this underground bunker. Don't know what happened there, but it was like spiral down. So hard to climb up. Anyway, eventually I climb up out of there, and I faced the biggest spider of my life, which signified the new career change. So I changed my career. At first, new job looks terrifying, but actually, it was not as terrifying. And did you know that spider, they are actually friendly. They look terrifying, but they are friendly. That's why. And with new job came new terrain, right? I was exposed out there where trolls could attack me, and I thought I was gonna die, but I've survived, and despite it all, the journey still continued. But I didn't go through this risky and perilous situation by myself. Now, in the mainstream media, you usually see this. White old wizard love mentoring and advocating for younger people, right? But mentors and advocates take many forms, from beautiful maids to kung fu instructor to the blue robot cats of the 22nd century. Don't know if you know Doraemon, but I grew up with Doraemon. I'm from Thailand. I grew up with Doraemon. To big and friendly giant. And there enter the giant throughout the journey, right, of risky and perilous situation. Now, the giants that I met, they showed me the way, they lifted me up, they leveraged their height so I could see the path and possibility in front of me. They provided practical training, right, profound wisdom, and they pushed me and they challenged me to fight in the new terrain. They helped me build grit and self-confidence. Now, for us here today, what I'm going to do, I'm going to highlight each of these giants' impacts that they have on me and behaviors that worth modeling from, okay? Now, first giant, Jason Yao. Jason's not in the room today, and he doesn't work at Microsoft, by the way. Jason was the first giant when I was trying to figure out what am I doing in technology, because tech is so vast. No idea what I'm doing. I thought I was not going to go back and see Jason Yao again because our first conversation was so confronting. I asked, can you help me get a job? I wanted to be an IT or software consultant. He turned around and said, no, you don't want to be an IT consultant. He said that. No, and he said, you don't want to be an IT consultant because you don't know what you want to do. You said that because you don't know what you want to do. You gotta admit it. And I was like, what? Excuse me? How dare you burst my bubble? How dare you tell me what I want and what I don't want? So he said, okay, before we come back and meet each other again, you gotta list out, okay, 100 jobs in technology and do your resume as if it were to be in the year of 2050 and come back and talk to me. And I was like, 2050, 30 years from then. Okay, well, I'm not gonna do that. But guess what? I did it. I did the resume, right? List out all the jobs. I went through that exercise and really do the research and trying to understand what it means. And I was like, hey, Jason was right. I didn't want to be an IT consultant. I said that because everybody at UWA said they want to be an IT consultant. All my peers said they want to be a consultant. Now, without that exercise, I wouldn't break free from the traditional thinking, right? Wouldn't think for myself. What we can learn or distill from Jason's story here is that you, as a leader of today, you have to challenge the initial belief of your junior. So you help them disrupt their traditional way of thinking that might not be true. And then they can think for themselves or develop critical thinking skills. Now, my next giant is Kirsten Geersen. Of course, I know her name, but anyways, it was hard to get a job in tech at first, like in tech in Australia, especially being an international student. So KG helped me get my first job in tech, right? She was so well connected. She loved connecting people together. She pushed so hard to actually land me the first job at the Cisco partner company. I get to test what it's like to work in tech, right? And that opportunity was so important to me to learn that, hey, employment was a two-way street. As much as I want to be employed, I also have to evaluate my employer value as well. So I later left that partner company because our value didn't align. But what we can learn from KG here is leverage your extensive network to help your junior land that opportunity, to help your junior get their first job or wherever they want to go, right? If you know somebody that you can connect them with, do that. Now, oh my God, she's not here anymore. What? Anyway, so my third giant is Michelle Sandford. I actually could make the whole day conference about Michelle, but I'm not going to do that. I only have 20 minutes. So Michelle let me borrow her belief in me. When I landed my job, when I landed myself in Microsoft, it was about 8 months in. I was a grad, right? I knew nothing about Power Apps. If you don't know Power Apps, it's a product Microsoft owns. Power Apps, and I knew nothing about running a workshop. I knew nothing about anything, literally, because I was still learning the world of Microsoft. And Michelle volunteered me, right, to run a one-day workshop for International Women's Day. And we invite a lot of women from not-for-profit organizations to come and learn Power Apps. Surely you say, Gia, you're not the only person at Microsoft. There gotta be other people. She walked up to me and she said, Gia, you are the last person standing. I believe you can do this. Oh, there you go, Michelle, hello. And I was so stressed out, right? I was like, to be honest, I was scared as shit out of me, excuse my language. But I only have 3 days to learn the Power Apps and write up the script, prepare the environment, everything. I was like, what am I doing? And Michelle actually went to another party. So thanks, Michelle. But anyways, I was so stressed. But in the end, everything went well. Thank you very much. Because without that opportunity, I wouldn't know that, hey, an early in career like me, just landed 8 weeks into Microsoft, can actually make an impact already, right? So what we can learn from Michelle here is you have to give your junior challenges for them to solve, right? So they can build up their confidence as they learn to handle and overcome those challenges. All right. is she in the room? Hello. Hi, Antoinette. So Antoinette is my fourth giant. So I would feel lost in the world pandemic without Antoinette. I joined Microsoft as a grad, right? And we were supposed to go to this like Canada. They flew us to be together, mucking around, trying to find out how to do stuff in corporate jungle and meet Microsoft executives. And potentially, this is what I was thinking. They probably like installed chip in our brain so that, you know, we all get brainwashed and like, oh my God, Microsoft. Anyway, that did not happen. That did not happen because everything got canceled a week before we flew. Remember at that time? Pardon? Thanks. Anyways, I was like, oh my God, did not happen because the world, remember that time, weird time, where we went into the lockdown and everything went virtual? Remember, it was a weird time. So we just like, what happened? Like, what? Anyways, unfortunately, a lot of people in the younger like workforce, they feel lost in this transition because they haven't grasped the concept of work yet. They're still learning their job. And also they have to learn a new way of being and doing. So I felt lost in that transition too. Now, during lockdown, I was going through family member loss and some issues. So I kind of grounded my self-worth in work. I do nothing else. I only work, right? I only work. And I thought it was everything I had because, hey, I deserve a spot at Microsoft, therefore I have to show this to everybody. But actually, it's not really true. Anyways, Antoinette came in. She let me out of that downward bunker spiral you saw in the beginning. Anto been working at Microsoft for a while. She knows ins and outs and everything. She noticed my Garmin. And she's like, oh, you run? I say, yeah. We start running together. We started training for half Ironman together. And during those training, right, she would also coach me to navigate like difficult work situations or, you know, show me the bigger picture of Microsoft of like, hey, this is what we have we did it before the pandemic arrived, you know, or give me like harsh feedback, not harsh, honest feedback. There you go, honest feedback. Sorry, honest feedback. And, you know, like, until one day, I just realized that, oh my God, everybody around me said, hey, Gia, you've been brainwashed by Microsoft, even my parents. And I actually truly believe that I found my place at Microsoft and I feel belong and I love this company. Now, this is not about Microsoft talk, but I'm just going to keep pushing on just to let you know that I meet really great people there. And what we can learn from Antoinette here is that you have to connect with your junior outside of work so that, you know, you form that friendship and you create that sense of belonging for them. Because sometimes it's a really lonely place, the corporate jungle. My next giant. Hello, Jonathan. Hi, Jonathan. So, Jonathan, wait. When I decided to change my career from account management into cloud solution architect, I don't know if you know, but the two careers like this, two separate way. It doesn't go the same. Like, it's super technical and super not technical. So many people ask me, how did you do that within a year at Microsoft? I wouldn't be able to do that without Jonathan Wade. So Jonathan is our director of Microsoft Azure in Australia and New Zealand. He believes in diversity of thoughts. And you know how like solution architect, they always hire 10, 15 years experienced people to come into the role. Resulted in similar way of thinking. They went to the same school, read the same textbooks, not sorry, the same textbook. English is my second language. The same textbook. And, you know, like, basically similar way of thinking. And he was like, no, we're going to give, like, different people that has different year of experience to come into the role. And then we're going to get people with different backgrounds as well. It doesn't matter if they have technical experience. It's okay. we're going to do this associate cloud solution architect program. So he was pushing hard for that. And without Jonathan, I wouldn't be in the role that I am today. So thank you very much. What we can learn from Jonathan here is that if you have the privilege of any source, right, use your privilege to create the space and time for diversity and inclusion to emerge. My 6 and 7 giants. Anyways, there are 2 key people that help me actually get into the role as well. Michael and Morgan. When I actually saw the solution architect role come up, I called Michael, which is my ex-boss now. I said, hey, Michael, I saw this opportunity of a lifetime. I applied. I didn't really tell them. I just told him I applied. Please support me. Michael looked at me with disbelief, like on Teams call, and he was like, how dare you? Like, that was on his face, because he has to go through like recruitment and everything, right? But he did not sabotage my career at all. He actually supported me throughout until I was a successful candidate. And when I got the offer of the solution architect, I saw my number went up, like it got bumped up. And I was like, oh, that must be something wrong. I call Morgan and I say, hey, Morgan, I have no experience. Just need to make sure that this is the right number. And it's like, no. Because of your impact that you create in the last year at Microsoft, this is a fair compensation for you. And I was like, oh, really? Thank you very much. Thank you for looking after me. And what we can learn from these 2 giants is that, first, you have to invest in the growth and the development of your junior. And secondly, you must fight for fair compensation for them in relation to the ability to create impact, not because of their years of experience. Now, my 8th giant, Daniella Mathews. Remember the associate class solution architect that Jonathan was trying to push for? Daniella was on the ground doing the work, set up the program, set up the structure around it so that the associates that come in later know what they're doing. And there are about 4 associates in our business right now. We spend less time mucking around. They're trying to like learn technical stuff. We know there's a path in front of us and what we need to do, because Daniella's been there before. What we can learn from Daniella here is that if possible, pave the path for them. Pave the path for your junior. Make it easier for them to follow. Don't make it hard for them, you know? Like, career in itself is just already hard. Now, Rivage. So, Rivage, I had to learn a lot of technical concept. First 6 months, oh my God, my brain was swollen. And what I really appreciate about Rivage is that he would spend hours and hours learning the concept that he doesn't know with me, like data governance, just to make sure that, hey, I can actually develop my skills, right? And I still have so much to learn, so much to improve, but you know, I am now more confident in my technical skill than a year ago, and that would not be possible without Rivage. Now, my last giant promise, I promise, is it the last one? Oh, sorry, no. What we can learn from Rivage here, sorry, we have to have the technical or domain expertise and be willing to learn and grow with your junior, okay? Because technology is an ever-increasing landscape. Now, my last giant, Sergio. So, remember, like, I don't know how many people have done the conferences, live demo and stuff. Shit always go wrong. Things doesn't work, right? You probably have seen it so many times today. That happened to me too. I was just so stressed out and oh my God, I cannot even talk properly. And one day I actually delivered my first workshop and I got the feedback. In the feedback form it say, we spend a lot of money at Microsoft. How dare you send a junior person to teach us? She wasted our time. And I was like, wow, that deflated me because I actually spent a lot of effort on that. But Sergio came in and was like, hey, I have extensive experience in this. Let's run the workshop together. So we do so many together. Until today, I can actually run my live demos. I can do conference talk. I can do whatever things that I need to stand up in front of people and talk. And that would not be possible without Sergio. So what we can learn from Sergio here is, hey, if they have not done it before, let them fly with you for a while, right? Let them fly with you until they can fly solo. Now, out of all of this, what I noticed the insights of all the giants is that it's not just, their peers. It's not just people on the team. It takes a village. It's not just one person. You might say, there's so many giants. That's the point. because you have so many people that you can leverage and get the help from. And it has to go up to the manager and the sponsor level as well, right? Okay, promise, last couple of slides. Tick, tick, tick. We know it's hard to start out. I don't have to say this, but we all know that it's hard to start out. Hitting the ground running, catching up with the people that have been in the industry for a while, right? And the expectation to solve the complex problems are ever increasing in technology. Now, if we don't have or provide without proper support or close support for your junior, it's like they are going through this loss in transition in their growth and transformation. Without loss, it's like this. You're sending them out to slay the dragon in the first episode. You are setting them up for failure, right? But it doesn't have to be like that. It should be learning from the wise and shadowing the experienced one, because they've been there before. Now, I'm gonna skip it, but you know what? If you wanna take photo, take the photo. So you might ask me okay, look for potential, because not everybody is fully developed, right? Not everybody. So look for potential. Now, there's no greater gift than the gift of growth. What I want you to do now, pull out your phone, right now, pull out your phone. Come on, pull out your phone, pull out your phone. Go to your to-do list of choice. And I'm sure when you were listening to me talking just now, right, someone's name pops up. Write the name of that junior person down. Write that name down, your to-do list of choice. And next to that person, and if you are junior, write the name of the person that you want to, reach out to, okay? Next to that person name for the later in career, write this down. I will help you slay the dragon in the corporate jungle. Okay, if you're a junior, say, I need your help slaying the dragon. Monday comes, the name that you wrote down, reach out to them. Set up one-on-one, coffee, catch up, bubble tea, whatever. And let them know that you're here, that you need help for junior, that you can help them, offer that help. When they ask for help, listen carefully, okay? And I understand we cannot take everybody on our shoulder, right? Find the right junior that you can connect and vibe with. It's like dating app. It takes a while. It takes sorry, it's wrong context, but it's relationship has to take two ways. It takes two ways. So this person Monday might not be the person you can connect with. That's okay. Next month you do it again. Keep finding the person that you can, connect with. All right, last slides. Season finale. Today I'm still in the journey in the corporate jungle, but I am at the full capacity. I owe all the giants the confidence that I now have in myself. Without them, I wouldn't turn out to be so awesome. So as I stand on the shoulder of giants and look at the path in front of me, I know that I'm ready to take on new quests, and continue to make my mark in this terrain and beyond. Thank you very much. That's okay. That is a summary. If anybody wants to take the photos, it's just too wordy, but keep
I was
going.
about to say, can you leave that up so I can take a photo too, please?
Okay, yes.
Gia, that was fantastic. As always, I will come see you a little bit later and probably bug you on a few things. Just a heads up, guys, we've got afternoon tea. So that's in the Riverside Foyer or the North and South. And just a friendly reminder, please be in the theatre by 4:05 for the lock note. Thank you, and well done again, Gia.
Thank you.